In a drab room in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, over 60 years ago, a group of 18-year-olds raised their right hand and recited these words. I do solemnly swear I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of officers appointed over me according to the regulations of the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. I was one of those 18-year-olds. While the gravity of that oath with which we signed on for at least 3 years with the U.S. Army was not fully understood by most of us that day, their import would be driven home repeatedly during our tours of duty. With the wisdom of age, what is embodied in that oath has become even more clear to me. We were joining the front lines in defense of our Constitution, and even if that threat came from within our own country. Of course, once your time in uniform is done, you're technically no longer bound by the oath. But having taken it and having once shouldered the responsibility, a veteran feels a duty to live up to that task for the rest of their lives in whatever way they can. And that is why I am appalled to learn that apparently some of those in the front of the mob that stormed our nation's capital January 6th either had been trained in the military or were schooled by those who had been trained that way. It's evident in this chilling photo of a group of men. They're wearing what is clearly military-style gear, trudging up the Capitol steps, each hanging onto the collar of the man in front of them. Now, anybody who served in Afghanistan or Iraq recognizes this is the Ranger file. It is a combat team doing what is called stacking, preparing to breach a building. The AP reports at least 21 current or former military members or people from law enforcement were in or near the riot in Washington. More than a dozen others are under investigation. And many of them have been identified because they had the audacity and, yes, the stupidity to post on social media clear images of themselves involved in the insurrection. I have a message to all those former and current military members who gleefully joined in this treacherous and fortunately failed effort on Capitol Hill. I believe a majority of we veterans are ashamed and appalled at your actions. To turn your military training against the government and people you once swore to protect, and all because you've chosen to drink from a fire hose, spewing lies and lunatic conspiracy theories of a clearly deranged former reality TV star, is beyond shameful. It is outright criminal. I sincerely hope any of you still on active duty get dishonorable discharges. Those of you who are former military, in my view, should be denied all veterans' benefits. You have besmirched the sacred principles we swore to uphold. I, for one, want you purged from our ranks.